Peter Zalmayev, who is the director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative, and Taras Berezovets, who is a Ukrainian political analyst. I'm going to start with you, Peter, first, if I may. Not for the first year of this conference, and you've been here a few years, Russia is being painted as the villain of the peace in many of the discussion groups. Is that entirely fair? And if you think it is, what is it that we should be particularly concerned about in terms of Russian posture?
Well, indeed, Russia is playing the role of a great spoiler, whether you're talking about the European Union, NATO. It is obvious that for Russia, it's much easier to deal with these countries individually rather than when they are represented in a bloc of countries. When it comes to NATO, Russia has held a grievance for many years after the breakup of the Soviet Union, when they claim previous George Bush Sr. promised to them, as they claim, that there would be no NATO expansion. Since then, obviously, the Baltics have been accepted as members of NATO, and now we have two aspirants to join the alliance, and that is Georgia and, of course, my native Ukraine. And that is something that Russia considers an absolute red line.
But do we not see that they have a point? I mean, it's been clearly a concern of the Russians since the breakup of the old Cold War politics, that they see NATO expansion as a threat. Do you not see their point of view at all?
There is a point of view, and there's something to be said about the way that the expansion has proceeded. I think the NATO and Western powers might have been able to do a better job working with the Russians to assure them and to placate them when it comes to their security guarantees. But the bottom line for me is, as a native Ukrainian, that these former Soviet satellite states or satellite states of Russia are now independent states, and they have the right to chart their own course. And it is something Russia has not come to peace with at their own peril. They have to come to peace with it. They have to enter in good faith negotiations with NATO about their security concerns.
And of course,